Practice drawing angles, lesson 8.4. Our first angle is going to be 40 degrees. Now I have to turn my page so I can do this again. We first start with one of the rays. Using the straight edge of your protractor, we're going to draw a long enough line to be able to see it past 0. Then you take your first point right here and put it in the hole of the protractor, lining everything up. And yes, the little wires will be in the way. Has to line up and go through 0. Take the inside numbers like Julian said earlier, because you're doing a 40-degree angle, and you're just going to mark it just enough to be able to line it up and draw your second ray. And then we label it 40 degrees. This guy right here has a special name. Anybody know what it is? Starts with a V. Good job. This is a ray, and it's also called a side to an angle. This is another ray. It's also called the other side to the angle. And that's our 40-degree angle. It also has a special name, which is it's an acute angle. Hey, I had to do one because, I started lesson without recording it. I'm right there with you, Matthew. So that was our example for number 1. Number 2. Julian, give me a measurement of an angle, please. That's a straight line, buddy. I want something outside. I want something creative. Ooh, I like it. 37. We can do both. We'll start out with 37. 37 degrees. Start off with one ray. And then you got to put that inside the hole in the protractor. Line up your 0. Now, this one's so tricky because it is like a 7. So what I did was I went up to the 40. I'm sorry, 30, because it's 37, because we're doing 47 next. Went up to the 30, 35, tracked it to the outside to be able to get those 2 extra points. And that's where I put my dot. You see what I mean, Aubrey? Do you want me to explain it one more time? I can do it. Hannah, did you get it? Okay. Once again, I use the inside zeros to go to 30 and then 35. And then I have to borrow these little lines over here because I've got 2 more to go. And I don't have those on the inside, do I? So I have to use the outside little tick marks to help me. Then I can just line them up. This is still a vertex. That hasn't changed. And what kind of an angle is this? A cute little angle. Y'all have to turn your page too. You doing the 47 one now? Oh, that's fine. If you can get a bunch of them on one page, that's fine. Go ahead, take your 4-minute break. Is that everybody back? Okay. The next angle that we're going to draw is 47 degrees. Some students already did it during break. 6, 8, 7. And what kind of an angle is this again? And what do we call this guy here? Okay. Okay, so we've done 3 acute angles. What do you think we need to do now? A quadrilateral? Y'all, I'm gonna let Matthew laugh at y'all whenever you make a mistake. Seriously, that's not what we're doing here. Aubrey, give me a number that is between 90 and 180, please, and make it difficult. I'm asking Aubrey. 110? Okay. 110. I'm going to start this one off the same way. I have an answer. I usually just put my dot here. I already know in my head that this is going to be an obtuse angle. So I'm going to give myself room on the paper to do that. And if I put my ray over here and start it over here, I'm not really giving myself much room, am I? So I started it off here to give that other side room, because it's going to be over here somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? So then you line up that first ray once you get it written down there. Now, which numbers am I going to track, outside or in? I'm going to do the inside ones again because it allows me to do that. If I put that circle right there and track that on this side of the 0, then I track the inside numbers to get 110. And what kind of an angle is this again? Obtuse. And what do we call this guy here where the 2 rays come together? Vertex. Well, I'm going to start into how we're going to solve them with equations. Okay, so now we're going to have that opportunity to draw what Julian wanted to draw earlier, which was 180 degrees. right? So number 5 is going to be a weird example, but just follow along with me. Okay, so number your paper 5 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come down at least 6 or 7. I'm coming down 7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot right in the middle of my paper. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a straight line going from one margin to the other. I know y'all can see your margin through your papers and your notebooks. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. That's going to be my 180. A straight line. 2 raised, laying straight flat. Okay. Right. And then I want you to line up to the 0. Okay. Making sure that your point is in that hole. Then you're going to mark your protractor to 48 degrees. How many degrees? 48. Now, I'm labeling some of these points. On my 180, I've got E, H, and G. And on the leg I stuck up there, I've got an F. Go ahead and label those. I know, right? You're looking at that 2X and you're like, what did that lady just put up there, right? That look on your face is priceless. I know, I'm going to explain it. Isn't this fun? Yeah, uh-huh. The most important thing that I told you guys to remember is those 4 definitions, right? Now, what information out of this shape that we just got done drawing, what information do you already know? You actually know everything you need to know to solve for the X, which is the unknown. What is this? 180, right? So if I have this angle right here and this angle right here, they're both supplementary angles because they both put together equal the 180. Are you with me? So let me say that again. They both equal the 180. Okay. I have one of the measurements, right? And there's the other measurement. That's the part of the unknown. So can't I do 2x plus 48? I need to find what my x is. I just built an equation out of what I know. Now you understand why the vocabulary words were so important. I can't go here unless you're ready. 2 times some number plus the 48 degrees all together is going to give me the 180. We practiced solving 2-step equations. We practiced solving 2-step inequalities. And now you can solve this. It's the same exact thing. So I need to start with getting rid of some things. What do I get rid of first? Get rid of the 48 through subtraction. So what you get rid of on one side of this equation, you get rid of on the other. That gets 2x all by himself. I think it's 132 because when you borrow here, watch what happens. This comes into a 7, and this would be a 10. So then 10 minus 8 is 2. 7 minus 4 was 3. I think you forgot to reduce there whenever you did that. Okay, so I've got 2 times x equals 132. How do I get rid of multiplication? Divide. Divide both sides by 2. Oh, you guys catch on fast. So my x equals what? 66 degrees. It's not that bad, is it? But it wouldn't have been if you didn't know the vocabulary. So up here somewhere, you need to go x equals 66 degrees. You ready for another one? It's fun. I have to turn my page. Is that okay? Y'all got that down? Maybe. Say again. Yeah, she does have a big book. Ours are smaller. Okay, my example for number 6. Okay, I want you to start off with a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees. And yes, I want you to measure it. "90 degrees are very, very special because they also have a little box right here that definitely indicates that it is a 90-degree angle. Always look for the box. Now, inside there, I need you to do a 35-degree angle, but the deal is you're going to measure from here down 35. You're not going to measure from the horizontal one. You're going to measure from the vertical one, okay? So what that means is you got to be very strategic on how you place your protractor. And again, that is 35. So you're going to do the outside numbers. $35. This is my 90-degree angle box, and this is the distance between here and here is 35 degrees. I'm not understanding the question. I'm so sorry. Oh, you gonna help her? You got it? Anybody else struggling? That's an X. This is a Y. That's a W. And that's a Z. Are you ready for your equation in the other side? You think the other one was bad? 4x plus 7. I know, right? What kind of angles are these two whenever they're put together? It's not the laying down one, it's the sit up one. The complementary angles. What do you know about complementary angles? They equal the sum of 90 degrees. So you're going to do that. Equals 90 degrees. Everything else goes on the other side of the equation. You have 4x plus 7 plus 35. Well, before you get rid of anything, don't you want to combine all like terms on the left side? I would do that, yes. Yes. Combine like terms and then start getting rid of it. Otherwise, you're subtracting twice. Do you really want to subtract twice, or do you want to add and then subtract once, right? Okay. So what's 37 and I'm 35 and 7? So then now what do I do? And you want to get rid of the 42. So you're going to subtract 42 from both sides. How do I get rid of the 4? So the x equals 12. Is that not fun or what? You just have to slow down and think. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was just looking at the next one in the your turn box, and I thought, that's perfect to have them do this one. Okay, this is your turn number 10. And I am on 255 in your book. And you need to start off with a supplementary angle. So what kind of an angle am I going to do? Start off with a straight line, 180. So down here somewhere in the middle of my paper, again, I'm going to start off with a point and then attach my 2 rays. Oh, and this one here, 54-degree angle, 54. And it has to be on the right side, so I'm going to use the inside numbers. There you go. It's all yours. Figure out what X is. Yes, Dane, you are allowed to use calculators. Absolutely. I think Savannah has her calculator over here, but you know what? I found some more in my drawer that they have my name on them. So if you don't want to use the one in your Chromebook, you're more than welcome to use these over here until they run out. But I caught you on email during lesson. But why was your email even open during lesson, darling? Your email automatically opens. Your email automatically opens. It has a mind of its own. It just opens itself. Is that what you're telling me? I want you to solve what X is. That's what I want you to do. Aubrey, what can you tell me about this that we drew right here? What information do you know? What kind of a situation do we have here? Think of your vocabulary words. Starts with an S. Supplementary. You supplement your day with a nap, right? What can you tell me about supplementary angles? What do they have to equal? What kind of degree do they have to equal? Look at your protractor. I can't hear you. 180. So you know that what you see here is a straight line. It has to equal 180, right? So that helps you to build your equation. Because whatever's going on between those two angles, you know, has to equal 180 because of that straight line. Do you agree? So then I pile everything up on the other side of the equation to figure out what the x is, right? So what am I going to put over there? A little louder. I can't hear you. I can put the 3x over there. What else do I put over there? Plus 54. That's a positive. My equation's built. And now I go to solve it. What's the first thing that you did, Jocelyn? Got rid of the 54. Okay. What did you get on the right, honey? 136? 126? Okay. And Charlotte, what did you do at this point? You divided both sides by 3 to find out what the x was. And what did you get? 42. So 3 times 42 degrees is what this angle is here. There you go. Not so hard, is it? I think it really helps if we just draw the angles as we go, because that way you can see how you build them from the bottom up. And besides, protractors are just fun. Just saying. Okay, so your homework assignment is going to be 5 problems. Actually, it's only 3 problems. Well, you're only dealing with 3 little diagrams, but you're answering a bunch of questions on those diagrams. And it's going to be on page 256. And number 1 through 5. And you can have the rest of this class period to do that, which is 18 minutes left to class to do that, okay? Everybody has their blue book? Can I have 2 questions before homework? Anybody want to come up with a question? Can I have 2 questions before homework starts? Nobody has a question? You can't even create a question that you can think somebody might be struggling with? Creating the equation? That's actually a good question. Look at the diagram and see what you're dealing with. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be either a complementary set of angles or it's going to be a supplementary set of angles. So you're always going to start your equation off. I always start it off with the equals and then put the 180 on one side, or start off with the equals and put the 90 on one side. Everything else piles on the other. And it doesn't really matter. You can put it on the left too. Equations are like that. It'll be okay either way. Good question, Charlotte. No other questions? I feel useless. Do you have to measure something? You always line it up using that hole right there. And you always put your vertex in that hole. You have to be meticulous about getting it on the straight lines though, because you have to start your angle measurement at always a 0 point. So yes, I would say be very meticulous about that. Your definitions are on page 252. Good question. I did notice that 1 and 2 was definitely vocabulary.
Yes, it's vocabulary.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to stop the meeting then.